Welcome back. My name is Miss Samantha. If you do not know me, if you do know me, like I just said, welcome back. I have been making videos during this time for my preschoolers. I teach a class of 3-year-olds and they are called Preschool 1. I miss you guys so much and I can't wait to see you guys soon. But today we are going to be doing 5 Green and Speckled Frogs, which is a song first, and then we are going to be reading a book called Frog on a Log. Let's get started. First, we're going to start off with 5 Green and Speckled Frogs, like I said. So first, I'm going to get my water. Here's our blue water. Next, I'm going to get my props. I'm going to get all of these that I made at home. This is our log, our brown log, and I'm going to get our 5 frogs. So I have 1 frog, which is number 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the last thing we need are going to be our bugs or our flies. These are our little bugs. All right, get 5 fingers up and we're going to get ready to sing. 5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Crunch, 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 crunch. One jumped into the pool. Here's our pool or our water, where it was nice and cool. Now there are how many speckled frogs? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fingers up. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Crunch, 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 crunch. One jumped into the pool, where it was nice and cool. Now there are how many speckled frogs? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3 frogs left. 3 fingers up. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. And instead of crunch, you can also say yum. Yum, yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, where it was nice and cool. Now there are how many speckled frogs? 1, 2. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool, where it was nice and cool. Now there are how many speckled frogs? Count. 1. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Crunch! He jumped into the pool, where it was nice and cool. Now there are how many speckled frogs? No more. So we're going to sing. No more speckled frogs sitting on the speckled log. No one was eating the delicious bugs, but they were having fun swimming in the pool. So we will end it by saying splash, 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 splash. Now wave your hand goodbye, because the story's over. So say goodbye now and wave. Bye-bye. Now we're going to read our book called Frog on the Log. This book is written by Leland Pear and illustrated by Joelle Dreedme. Frog on a Log, or Frog on the Log. Down in the woods where the river runs through, by a creaky old hut and a leaky canoe, stood a marvelous mountain of old mossy logs, which happened to house a small family of frogs. Now those frogs like to bathe in the stream in the sun, and roll in the moss, which is a good froggy fun, till one day the river rose up, and the logs were washed down the river. along with the frogs. An hour passed by when the frog saw a dog as he drifted along in the sun on his log. It stood on the bank quietly having a drink in the shade of a tree, and it made the frog think. Kind dog, I appear to need some assistance. I have drifted downstream a considerable distance. The bank by the hut, from that place I so yearn. To my friends and my family I'd gladly return. Small frog, said the dog, I would carry you gladly, but wood tends to splinter my mouth rather badly. So ride on my back if you like, said the dog, but you'll have to abandon your mossy old log. I will not abandon my home, said the frog, and he drifted along in the sun on his log. What do you think's gonna happen next? Another hour passed as he drifted along, alone on his log in the heat of the sun, when he happened to spy in a nearby bog the snout and 2 eyes of a mud-loving hog. Dear hog, I appear to need some assistance. I have drifted downstream a considerable distance. The bank by the hut, for that place I so yearn. To my friends and my family I'd gladly return. And there's the frog and the hog. Small frog, I've been battling in marvelous muck. You could cling to my snout, but your log's out of luck. I'm afraid it would simply slip off, sniffed the hog, so you'll have to abandon your mossy old log. I will not abandon my home, said the frog, and he drifted along in the sun on his log. What animal do you think he might see next? The sun was now sizzling high in the sky, and it beat down upon the frog drifting by, laid out on his log as the river's end loomed at sharp jagged rocks and certain frog doom. I wish I'd accept the help of the dog, or hopped on the snout of the mud-loving hog. He thought when he saw at the base of those rocks the splintered remains of some mossy old logs. But what was that bobbing along in the foam? A log that was moving away from the stone. There was no time to think, and the little frog knew it. He took a deep breath, and then he hopped right to it. How sad that I had to abandon my home, said the stubborn old frog as it smashed on the stone. Then looking about him he saw with surprise his new mossy log came complete with 2 eyes. Well, what have we here, said the stunned crocodile, and he grinned at the frog with a wide, toothy smile. A log-hopping frog, and I have a hunch he hasn't dropped by for a spot of light lunch. The frog gave a gulp. This is worse than I feared, thought the frog on the croc, and he shed a small tear. I'm done for, I've had it, finnick to it, kaput! I'll never again see the bank by the hut. Now, said the croc, stop crying this instant. I too have been swept a considerable distance. From way past the hut and the leaky canoe, I'm heading back now. Are you coming too? So upstream they traveled, the croc and the frog, and they waved as they passed by the mud-loving hog and the dog on the bank in the shade of the tree, to arrive at the place where the logs used to be. Thank you so kindly for taking me home, said the frog on the croc, no longer alone, and he hopped from the back of the croc to the bank. The croc waved goodbye, and then his crocky heart sank. Nice frog, I appear to need some assistance, you see. I led rather a lonely existence. My home way upriver was washed away, too, so if it's okay, can I stay here with you? Sounds like the crocodile's lonely and he might need someone to be friends with or to play with. And that's how we'll leave them, the frogs and their friend. There's no better place for this story to end. A family of frogs and a crocodile too, in a croaky old hut and a croaky canoe. And that's the end of our story. Alright, preschool, it was really nice reading to you today, and I will see you guys again another time soon. Check back for another video soon, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.